Putin has a shadow army that's brutally spreading Russian influence, and they're not just in Ukraine. Welcome to America Uncovered. I'm Chris Chappell. Be sure to like and leave a comment. It really helps us with the algorithm. And make sure you're subscribed, because YouTube has been secretly unsubscribing people. And since YouTube also has been notifying people of every new episode, check back every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday for new episodes. Russian President Vladimir Putin is spending a lot on his invasion of Ukraine. But his military is taking heavy losses from the Ukrainian army backed by the US and NATO. That's why Putin's deploying Russian mercenaries to take on a greater role in Ukraine. Russia's private military contractors, or PMCs, are relatively low profile and they're cheap. And if they sustain heavy losses, that's okay, because that still helps Russia hide its true military losses. PMCs are technically illegal under the Russian Constitution, but who cares about the rules when you're the man in charge? They play a key role in advancing Putin's goals, and not just in Ukraine.
As CSIS data highlight, the number of countries where Russian private military companies operate increased sevenfold from 4 countries in 2015 to 27 in 2021.
The most infamous among these companies is the Wagner Group. It's been called Putin's shadow army. You can already tell just by looking at its insignia that this is a group of upstanding guys. The Wagner Group first came to the world's attention in 2014, when it was spotted fighting alongside Russian-backed separatists in eastern Ukraine. The group is believed to have been founded that same year by retired Russian Special Forces commander Dmitry Yutkin. Here he is with Putin. Yutkin is allegedly a fan of the Nazis. This photo surfaced in 2021 and supposedly shows Yutkin with Nazi tattoos. It's also said that Yutkin named the Wagner Group after Richard Wagner, Adolf Hitler's favorite composer. I guess in his rush to denazify Ukraine, Putin forgot to denazify his own mercenaries. Easy mistake to make. The Wagner Group now has some 10,000 members, and they're not the type you want to work with, let alone fight against. The Russian government says that they have nothing to do with the Wagner Group, but it's pretty clear that they take orders from Putin. After all, Putin's close ally, Yevgeny Prigozhin, is widely believed to be financing the Wagner Group. Even the US Treasury Department says as much. Although, of course, Prigozhin denies it, or that the Wagner Group even exists. The group's also packed with former Russian officers. And if that wasn't evidence enough, one of its bases in Russia is even right next to a Russian military base. Neighbors, yeah, but totally not connected. Sure. According to the US Treasury Department, the Wagner Group is Russia's proxy force. And they definitely play that role in Ukraine. The Wagner Group had moved to Ukraine even before the invasion. Since then, it's been accused of murdering civilians. Wagner Group mercenaries may have even been partly responsible for the Bucha massacre, according to German intelligence. But the Wagner Group is not just in Ukraine. It's all over the world. And if you think the Wagner Group is terrible in Ukraine, wait till you hear about them in the Middle East and Africa. As one survivor put it, what they do there makes Ukraine seem like a fairy tale. To be fair, fairy tales can be pretty dark. I'll explain after the break. Welcome back. If you like our style of nonpartisan, slightly amusing news coverage, and don't want to see us shut down because of YouTube demonetization, all it takes is as little as $1 per episode on Patreon. You can also set a monthly limit, or you can join our exclusive censorship-free social media platform on Locals. Links to both are below. Vladimir Putin has a shadow army called the Wagner Group. It's a private military contractor that commits atrocities around the world, from Ukraine to the Middle East and Africa.
In Mali, the Wagner mercenaries are looking to fill the space that will soon be left there after the French army leaves. Their tasks are exactly the same in Africa as in Ukraine: destabilization and destroying democracy. Some Malians have shown their gratitude to the Wagner Group. But wherever the Russian mercenaries have operated, they have always been extremely brutal.
Brutal is putting it lightly. The Wagner Group has committed massacres and frequently rapes teenage girls. They even booby-trap teddy bears, toilets, and soda cans. Those are intentionally targeted at young children. In some cases, Wagner Group mercenaries even directly command or supervise local forces. So what does Putin have to gain from sending the Wagner Group to do this kind of work? Money and influence. It's working wonders for Putin. African leaders pay for Russian recognition and military muscle by giving Russia prime access to their oil, gas, gold, diamonds, and valuable minerals. American officials worry that these resources are being used to blunt the effect of economic sanction. And Russia's military influence has diplomatic consequences. Thanks to the Wagner Group's favors to African leaders, some countries abstained from voting on a UN referendum condemning Russia's invasion of Ukraine. But the Wagner Group does more than just expand Russian influence. It wants to bring down the West. This is mainly being done through disinformation efforts to get people to hate the West. The French know this all too well. They recorded Wagner Group mercenaries staging French atrocities with dead bodies in Mali. The Wagner Group isn't even shy about directly attacking U.S. forces. Back in 2018, U.S. commandos were attacked by hundreds of Wagner Group mercenaries in Syria. Putin isn't worried about the Wagner Group escalating conflict. After all, he can just deny having anything to do with them. So is the U.S. doing anything to stop the Wagner Group? In the grand scheme of things, not really. The U.S. and Europe have imposed sanctions in recent years, but many diplomatic, military, and intelligence officials admit the U.S. has been too slow to respond. The U.S. has pretty much watched them grow over the past 8 years and wreak havoc around the world. Recently, the U.S. government has tried to persuade other governments not to work with the Wagner Group, but it's been too little, too late. Part of it is because the U.S. doesn't have enough manpower in many parts of Africa. American embassies there have bare-bones staff that have to juggle everything from routine visa issues to terrorist threats. So it comes as no surprise that one State Department official said there was no unified or systematic U.S. policy toward the group. But there is some good news. Ukraine has dealt some major damage to the Wagner Group, killing hundreds of them in the conflict. They even recently killed a notorious member called the Executioner. But as long as the U.S. doesn't find a way to deal with PMCs, authoritarians like Russia and China just hire more men to advance their political agendas. Because for people like Putin, the Cold War is never over. So what do you think? Let us know in the comments below. And we could not make this show without support from viewers like you. You can help us for as little as $1 per episode at patreon.com/AmericaUncovered or on our exclusive censorship-free social media platform, americauncovered.locals.com. The links to both are in the description below. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. Thanks for watching America Uncovered.